Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good, yo? Oh my God. So much great stuff to talk about, so little time. But Radiance, my best magic show slash potential fun show of 2018. Which is funny because it came out at the end of it. So if it does have a lot more episodes that lead into 2019, which I could see happening if it is long and plans on taking any breaks. But overall, man, I am excited just to see what is to come, like what is and what isn't going to like truly, freak us out or just, make us want to see the conclusion of certain aspects of different things that are about to pop off. For one being, we are seeing like the backstory of Alma, and as of now, I really want to know just what the heck is going on with what happened with her. Um, it was pretty sad to see her just wake up and she was just an arm was gone. So I think we already have a somewhat visual of what has already happened, or maybe when it occurred, because of Seth actually seeing his perspective compared to hers. And I believe she had two arms when she was fighting the serpent. I'll have to go and look back at my some of the pictures I saw in the first episode, or just watch the first episode again. But from what I saw, she, potentially lost it all in that fight, and because of that, it it's easy to tell that she is hurt from it, and not only is she hurt from it, she lost like all regulation of what happened. So not even knowing how you got out of the situation or how maybe someone else risked their life for you. Forgetting that aspect is that would be pretty painful to find out much later down the line, to see that someone sacrificed himself and that's the only reason why you actually came out alive or something along those lines. So, um, that is one of the main plot points of this episode. It's just kind of giving us a reason to care for her character. Because I feel like with Seth just like embarking on this journey and pretty much, just taking off or whatever, it was a way for the author to kind of take him away from his like his his safety blanket, so to speak. And now that he's kind of on his own and has to figure out just what the Radiance is. Supposedly, it's the place where it's supposedly the place where the nemesis are actually being dropped from in the egg form, and that is what is supposedly like the overall arcing of the story, is finding where and why these things are being just produced overall. And now that we're getting into that, it feels pretty cool that he leaves the way he does, because he knows who he's dealing with. He knows that the girl that he's with, or Alma, she's not about it. Like, she honestly believes, just like that one guy who came in and was captured, she believes that the wizards or the sorcerers will never really be um, looked up to and be um, wanted, more or less. And that is pretty sad. But at the same time, he's gonna fight tooth and nail to make sure that doesn't become the only reality that they have. So it's seemingly going to be pretty dope, but at the same time, there's a chance of it to be, all bland and all negative, 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 just like how people want to hear me talk about it being negative. But that's every single show in the world. They all can take a decline at any time. But to know that Seth is supposedly an affected child and he got beat up on by other kids who thought they were beating up a bad guy just by seeing Seth. Um, we're probably in for a very, very powerful story, and I think that's already being left out in people's mind. People don't necessarily understand that with all these hardships that he's going through, he still saved people that were literally 5 seconds ago telling him that they would be better off if he wasn't in the town and pretty much didn't exist, you know? So to go from people saying that to still flying over and, cracking a smile and being thankful to actually have met those people, that's who this character is. And if that's something you don't want to watch, then this is definitely not the show for you. But to think that Alma and how like tough she's been to him as a child, and she even thought of abandoning him at one point because he was a burden more than he was helping. Um, all of those things really come full circle to see he protected all of those people from certain death. He, stood by them throughout the whole entire event, and if he didn't, they would have been dead probably earlier, So, because the sorcerers that showed up would have left them and they would have been blasted, or maybe those sorcerers wouldn't have showed up as early as they did, let things get a little bit more destroyed, They are evil. The only reason why they probably made a move was because of the kid was there attacking, and like he said, that was one of the best decoys he's had. So to understand all of that stuff happening in that small town, I can only imagine the grand scale of like damage and stuff he could cause, running free and stuff. So maybe that's another reason why Alma was very hesitant to travel with him overall. Or maybe she just isn't a big on traveling. I'm not sure. And like I said earlier, I'm not 100% what's going to happen to her character after this. But if I know anime and I've seen quite a few of it, there's a high chance she could become one of, holy crap, level 72. She could become one of the obstacles for him. And I think if that is the case, it would be cool, but at the same time, it would seem kind of obvious because of how her backstory went. She lost her arm. She don't know how she lost it. Come to find out, the kid is the son of the Demon King, or the Nemesis King, or something like that. Um, Anything is really possible with that character that is now kind of separated from the main character and finally getting to say what she wanted to say, that he was a burden and all these different stuff about him. It's crazy to think that he's just gonna go off. He's gonna save the world from the nemesis, but first he's just gonna do whatever the heck he wants to do. I was not expecting that in the least. But Radiance is hopefully going to be the most underrated show because right now, if no one's going to be watching and talking about it, I have no problem being the only one because I enjoy it. And not only do I enjoy it, I almost got choked up a little bit seeing him about to just dip. And then he's like, I can't just leave on that note, and runs back and hugs her, and thanks her the real way he wanted to with tears in his eyes, for every ounce of anything she gave him. It was more than he could ever ask for, is pretty much how I interpreted it. And I believe this show is coming to Funimation full on dub, so I'm gonna be watching this twice, depending on which voice actor gets the job of doing him, and see the other characters. But the last thing I want to talk about is the final part. Of course, that's how a review should be. I should talk from beginning to middle to end, but I like to jump around. Shut up. But with this crazy Gajil's father looking guy showing up, And all of these different like supposed like powerful sorcerers, I'm guessing, or maybe they're not even maybe they're the anti-sorcerers that hunt sorcerers. But just by seeing them, you can tell that they have that feeling of despair. They have that feeling of we slap people and that's what we do type of deal. So I'm glad they're already introducing a cast of people that seemingly are going to be the big deal, big shebang at the end, which gives me hope for the main character to at least find and destroy some nemesis that are actually, hurting towns. But supposedly, what he did with his fist by using magic, by not using any type of uh, weapons and stuff like that, that is unnatural to them. So he's already being hunted down by these people, and they're looking for a boy with horns, and he has, like reached the town. So let me know what you guys are feeling on Radiant. We're already about to get into some interesting new characters attacking our main character, and seemingly some new characters that are going to team up with them too. So world building or villain and ally building in the same episode, plus world building because he just departed from the town that he used to live in and Alma. He's going to a whole new place altogether. So here we go. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe because I will be talking about this show all the way to the end. I don't care if it's 150 episodes. I'm going in on this one. I felt good vibes from it in the first place when I first watched it. A really good friend of mine also told me to check it out, and so far it has not disappointed me, and I have enjoyed it fully, or immensely, I should say. So with that, everybody, I hope you have a great day, night, morning, whatever the case is. I hope you enjoy it. And I will definitely talk to you very soon because I got more content to drop and I'm about to die. Oh my God. Um, I'm about to do a sword art video. So if you guys are fans of sword art and you're watching this right now, make sure you are ready for that as well because sword art is about to get pretty litty. I can't wait to see what that also has to end for us. So let's see how it goes. All right, everybody, have a good one and peace.